Hi, it's G4YVM here, and I'm in the workshop on quite a nice day. I should be outside really. The sunshine is beautiful. It's good for portable work, but anyway, here we are. A few people have asked me about the Loftenna that I make and sell, and it looks like this. When you get it, this is what you end up with. There's a plastic pack with the poles in. And the Loftenna itself, and all you have to do is unwind it and put it up in the loft. It comes as a loop of wire with two plastic supports one at either end. Fastened to each plastic support is a nylon bridle. It's, I don't know, 2mm nylon, so it's not going to tangle up easily. And I knot them to the plastic tubes, so I don't. They're not fastened on permanently. So if you do get in a mess, you can just untie the knots and take the bridle off, lay out the wire, and then put the bridle back in and re-support the antenna. And I do it that way because it's sold as a loft antenna, and I know how frustrating working in a loft is. It can be dark, it can be cramped, and the last thing you want to do is try and untangle several meters of wire and nylon. So it's designed so that you can take it apart easily and then put it back together. What you can't take apart easily is the wire loop itself, and there's no need because a loop of wire isn't going to tangle. And anyway, it comes to you coiled and tied with plastic tie wraps. But enough of that. Some of you have asked, well, okay, how is it made and how does it work? So I'm going to show you. I'm going to make one from scratch, and hopefully I will show you how that works, and then we'll stick one up outside. Okay, so I'm outside now in the sunshine, as you can see behind me, and I'll just show you what I start with when I build these things. So this is the start. There's the unun here, which is obviously my own creation that won't work without that. And this is the rest of it. So I start with a length of wire and the two plastic supports, and I'm going to turn that now into a Loftenna. So I'll see you in a bit. Okay, so I built the antenna, and I'll give you a walk around it, and then I'll plug it in and I'll show you what it does. Right, the end of the wire that you want to plug into your unun comes with a spade connector. There's your unun. That's how it comes, with a SO239 connector for your coax to your radio. The length of that coax is not critical. Treat it like coax, just feed it. Obviously the less the better, I guess. There's a bind post there and that goes onto the bind post. You've got your radials. Actually they're not radials, they're counterpoises really. So if you can spread them out, spread them out. If you just have to leave them in a pile, leave them in a pile. Then you get the length of wire, which is this, and at the far end another plastic post with the nylon bridle on. Now I want to look at the nylon bridle, so I'm just going to turn that around. The bridle fastens like this. Okay, it's just tied on, so if you want to untie that to help yourself fit it up, you can. The length of the bridle is not critical. What's critical is that this post here is in a straight line from that post over there. Don't worry if the top line is not exactly the same length as the bottom line. It doesn't matter. It's a folded monopole. It's not critical. It's not like a Yagi. They shouldn't slip because they're fastened on with tie wraps. When you erect it, you pull it out straight like that, so that end is vertical and this end is vertical, and the only critical aspect is that you've got no twists in this wire. Okay, so this bottom wire mustn't be twisted over the top one like that. Just keep them separate. They're separate by about 1 meter, maybe 90 centimeters. This post here, as you can see, this terminal here is kept vertically in my case by the weight of the unun, and in your loft it can be the same. It can be the weight of the unun which keeps it down, but it doesn't have to be. You could tie it to something if you want to. Try to keep the wires away from hardware, metal drain pipes and things like that, so that ultimately they're spread out down the length of your loft. That's about 6 meters. And provided they're straight, they're fine. Okay, there's no criticality in this other than don't let it get near any metal work or stuff like that, wet roof tiles. Just treat it like a normal antenna. Okay, so I'm going to hoist this up into a slightly higher elevation, and then we're going to have a look at the SWR, etc. Coaxial fed into my shack, and we'll go and have a look and see what the SWR is. I'm expecting it to be very low. My expectation is that it's 2.5 to 1 or lower on all the bands, but the tuner will certainly handle it, and we'll have a listen around what's going on. And for those of you who want to know what conditions are like, today is the 19th, Saturday the 19th, I think it is, of March 2022. So that's the conditions I'm working in. Talk to you in a bit. Okay, I'm in the shack. I've got the antenna up now. I've got two aerials plugged into my radio. I've got the Loftenna, and I've got a big doublet, 155 foot open wire fed doublet, which is pretty big. The rig is an FTDK 5000, which is that one. And we've got two antennas. I'm using sideband because that's the most popular method of communicating. So let's see what we've got. So this is 40 meters. This is on my doublet. And that's on the Loftenna. Doublet, Loftenna. The signal strength doesn't actually change. The only thing that changes is the background noise and the signal strength of the meter itself, of the signal to noise, should I say. The actual S meter doesn't change. Let's have a listen to that. That's the doublet. That's the Loftenna. That's the doublet. That's the Loftenna. That's a better signal. Nice of the person whistling there to keep us informed that he can whistle like a canary, whoever you are. That's a Frenchman. That's the Loftenna. That's the doublet.
Les commutateurs là, du 277 du WD40. On fait marcher ça comme il faut, on laisse égoutter bien sûr.
Loftenna, doublet.
Il n'y a plus de crachement, il n'y a plus de... voilà.
So that's 4. Let's try 20 meters. Right, that's on the doublet. There's a lot of noise on this signal. That's the Loftenna. Loftenna. Doublet. So the doublet picks up more noise. But I'm not surprised by that. Let me explain this. First of all, it's much closer to the property. The doublet runs all the way down the garden. It's a long way outside of the house noise bubble. The Loftenna is inside the noise bubble. And of course the doublet is balanced, so I'd expect it to be quieter. Like any monopole, the Loftenna will be slightly noisier. But as you can see, the actual signal coming in, you could work these guys. So if you can't get a 200-foot doublet down in your garden, but you can get an aerial in your loft, then the Loftenna might be it. Let's see what else there is. Let's try 80 meters for a laugh. Well, it is 11 o'clock in the morning. CW 3.88. Might come back to that. Right, that's the CW. That's on the doublet. That's on the Loftenna. Doublet. Loftenna. Doublet. There's not moving the S meter. Doublet. I'm not trying any filtering on this, of course. As you can see, I'm literally just flicking the switch over. So if I was to move the filtration in and try and filter that hash out, I could really improve that signal. But it's all workable, and this is all on my little Loftenna. It's all absolutely workable, so that's good. What you want to see, of course, is how does it work on transmit. So let's have a look at that as well. I broke the video there just to set things up. What I'm going to do for this test is just to squirt some AM power into the Loftenna. I'm going to run it through the FTDK 5000 with no tuner in, just to show you what the raw SWR is of this antenna. I'm going to start with top band 1.83790 megahertz, and I'm going to put in AM, low power AM. Well, it's about 45 watts of AM, and just briefly show you what the SWR is. There's nobody on the band, so I'm not too worried about. Well, I'm not worried at all about interference. There's no one there. So let's have a look at this. I'm going to swing you around if I can. Oops. To the rig. So there's my rig. That there is my SWR thing. This is the tuner. There's no tuner in. If you flick it on, you'll see the tuner come in probably. So there's the tuner. Where is it? Should be visible above the 7 and the 9 to show it's in, and then to show it's out. And then we'll go back to the SWR meter, which I hope we can see in the light. So this is just a little bit of AM on top band. SWR of 2. SWR of 2. Will it tune that? Got some reflection, I think, on there. I'm trying to get rid of that for you. There we are, an SWR of 0. That's on AM. Let's go up to 40 meters. This is the Loftenna, an SWR of 1.8 to 1. Will it tune that? Clatter, clatter, clatter. And we have 1 to 1 now. Let's try 20 meters, which is what you all want to know about, I'm sure. AM. This is the Loftenna for sure. No tuner. An SWR there of less than 1.5 to 1. If it won't tune that, I'm going to send the rig back. There we go, 1 to 1. 10 meters for those of you who are members of the 555 club. There's no one on 10 meters. Let's go to 29. Let's have a look. 29.6. 10 meter FM. 10 meter FM. No tuner. Loftenna. I've got a 10 meter rig listening in the background. Less than 1.5 to 1. So there's no doubt at all that this rig works. I'll try and find some QSOs for you, and we'll see what we can get. So from an SWR point of view, the antenna works extremely well. Let's see if I can find some stations, and we'll have some QSOs.
Golf 4, sorry mate, I missed that completely. Was it go again, Golf 4?
Yeah, sorry, 2 Echo 1 Tango Alpha Papa. This is Golf 4 Yankee Victor Mike. I just want to do a quick aerial comparison, if I may. This is Golf 4 Yankee Victor Mike. I'm in Salisbury, name is David. I know you want to go, so I'm not going to hold it very long.
Yeah, no problem, mate. David, I've got you now. Yeah, go ahead, mate. Yeah, I'm using a bazooka at the minute, a double bazooka. You're giving me a +10, mate. +10, and I'm in East Yorkshire, England. Yourself?
Okay, +10 on this antenna, thanks. I'm going to try a much smaller antenna just for comparison. Stand by one. 2 Echo 1 Tango Alpha Papa. 2 Echo 1 Tango Alpha Papa. This is Golf 4 Yankee Victor Mike.
You're very, very quiet. You're in my noise, mate. About 4 and a 5 at the minute yourself.
Roger that. Is that 4x5, 4x5 on this antenna? I'll just go back to the big one. Stand by.
Yeah, Roger.
And let's tune that. Sorry about that, the tuner takes a while to clunk through. The rig is an FTDX 5K, and the tuner's good, but it takes a little while. Yeah, thanks indeed for that. Well, this antenna is the doublet. It's a 160 foot long open wire doublet. and the other antenna was 6 meter long Loftenna. It's a 6 meter long Loftenna, so the fact that it works at all is very pleasant. I think if it was all I had, we could probably make a QSO, but this one is obviously much better and much nicer. Many thanks indeed for that. I won't hold you. I know you've got your wife champing at the bit to get work done, and I'm only able to do this because mine's gone shopping. Hi. G4 Yankee Victor Mike.
G4 Yankee Victor Mike. Yeah, you jammy salt. Yeah, I wish you'd go shopping, but there you go. No worries, mate, and you're certainly working on that antenna. Plus 10 on me, and sometimes even stronger. Your audio is very good as well, mate. No worries, no problem. So go for Yankee Victor Mike from 2 Echo 1 Tango Alpha Papa 73, mate.
Yeah, cheers, bye-bye.
Catch you later, Andy.
Okay, so that was the Loftenna versus the doublet on 40 meters. He gave me a 5.4. Not as good, nowhere near as good as the doublet, but that's always what we expected. But it worked. So if you're going to struggle to get out, then you could work. And that was just the first one I happened to come across. So I'll have another look, see what else I can find on the bands.
Roger, Mike 6 Delta Tango Tango. This is 9 Alpha 5 Alpha November Foxtrot. You are also 596 for QSO.
Golf 4 Yankee Victor Mike. 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 Yes, it's George 4 Yankee Victor Mike. Yankee Victoria Mexico. Golf 4 Yankee Victoria Mexico.
Roger. Go 4 Yankee Victoria Mexico. This is 9 Alpha 5 Alpha November Foxtrot. Thanks for QSO. You're 5'9".
5x9 also, and many thanks indeed. Have a good day. Bye-bye.
Thank you, good day too. Bye-bye.
Okay, that was 20 meters. Clearly it wasn't 5x9, but you know what he's doing. That was on the Loftenna 14.255. If I flick him onto the doublet, then his signal is the same strength, but it's a bit clearer. That was with some of the noise filtering in off the 5K, so it was a much better operation. But as you heard, it worked, and he could copy me. So if you can't get up a full-size doublet antenna and you can get the Loftenna in your loft, then I hope I've just proved to you that on 40 meters and 20 meters it works. I can go back to 40 and try some more stations, and we'll see how we get on. But it works. The Loftenna is it's a great little antenna. And as I say, people have given me great reports from them. So I hope you, if you buy one, I hope that you find it interesting and useful. This is G4YVM signing off. Cheerio.